Imagine your body is like a huge city. Every building in this city is made of tiny bricks called cells. Each cell knows its job. Some are teachers in the school, brain cells. Some are builders, bone cells. Some are chefs cooking food for everyone, stomach cells. Some are police officers protecting the city, immune cells. And here's the amazing part. These cells don't live forever. Old ones retire and new ones are built to take their place. It's like the city is constantly repairing itself, brick by brick, day and night. Now, what happens if a builder doesn't follow the rules? What if a cell forgets its job, ignores the city plan, and just keeps stacking bricks where they don't belong? That, my friend, is how cancer begins. Every cell carries a rulebook, instructions called DNA. This DNA tells the cell when to grow, when to stop, when to take a break, and when it's time to retire. But sometimes, the instructions get scratched or damaged, like spilling water on a recipe book. Maybe the cell forgets to stop growing. Maybe it doesn't know when to retire. Instead of working with the team, the cell goes rogue. It becomes a rule breaker. And here's the problem. Rule breaker cells don't stop at 1 or 2. They copy themselves, over and over. Soon you have a whole gang of cells building the wrong way. This gang is what we call a tumor. Here's where it gets tricky. Not every gang is dangerous. Some tumors are like kids who play too rough but stay in their yard. They don't spread, and they don't harm the whole city. Doctors call these benign tumors. But others? They're like vandals. They don't just stay in one place. They spread into other neighborhoods, breaking buildings, stealing resources, and causing chaos. Those are cancerous tumors. Why is cancer so scary? Because these cells are sneaky. The immune system, remember the city's police, usually spots and arrests rule breaker cells early, but cancer cells can disguise themselves. They put on masks, tricking the police into thinking, nothing to see here, just a normal citizen. And while the immune system is tricked, the vandals multiply. Let's step away from the city for a second. Picture a garden. Normally, plants grow in neat rows. Each flower knows its place. You water them, the sun shines, and the garden thrives. But suddenly, one weed decides to grow too fast. It spreads, hogs the sunlight, steals the water, and pushes other flowers out of the way. That's cancer, a weed that won't stop growing no matter how much you pull. So why does this happen? Why do some cells go rogue? There isn't one single reason. It's like a mystery with many suspects. DNA mistakes. Every time a cell divides, it copies its DNA. Sometimes typos sneak in. Most are harmless, but once in a while, a dangerous typo appears. Chemicals. Smoking, pollution, or certain toxins can damage DNA, like spilling ink across the rulebook. Radiation. Too much UV from the sun or exposure to harmful radiation can break instructions in cells. Inherited risk. Some people are born with a DNA rulebook that already has a few missing pages. That doesn't mean they will get cancer, but the risk is higher. Chance. Sometimes, even with no clear cause, a cell just makes a bad copy. Cells have proofreading systems. Imagine editors who double-check the DNA rulebook. If they see a mistake, they fix it. And if the mistake is too big, the cell has a self-destruct button called apoptosis. It's like the cell saying, I'm broken, better retire before I cause trouble. But if the damage sneaks past both the editors and the self-destruct button, that's when the problems begin. Cancer doesn't start big. A tumor begins as a tiny clump of cells, smaller than a grain of rice. At that size, you wouldn't see it, feel it, or even know it's there. But cancer cells multiply without stopping. Slowly at first, then faster, like a snowball rolling downhill. Left unchecked, they spread to other parts of the body. That's called metastasis, when cancer cells travel and plant weeds in new gardens. Scary? Yes, but here's something hopeful. Your body fights back daily. Scientists believe cells make tiny mistakes all the time, but most never become cancer because the immune system catches them. Think of cancer like a bank robber. Most get stopped by guards, cameras, and alarms, but once in a while one slips through. Cancer is more common with age. Why? Because time gives cells more chances to pick up DNA errors, and as the body grows older, its immune system slows down, catching fewer mistakes. That's why cancer is often a disease of aging. But here's the good news. Doctors have many ways to fight back. The most straightforward solution? Cut it out. If found early, surgeons remove the tumor, like pulling weeds before they spread. But sometimes cancer sends out invisible seeds, stray cells that escape. If even a few survive, new tumors can grow later. Next is radiation therapy. Imagine using a magnifying glass to burn weeds. Radiation beams target tumors with invisible fire, killing cells. It's effective but tricky. Nearby healthy tissue can get scorched too, leading to side effects like fatigue or nausea. Doctors aim carefully, trying to burn weeds while sparing flowers. Chemotherapy is like flooding the entire garden with weed killer. The drugs spread everywhere through the bloodstream, attacking fast-growing cells. Cancer grows fast. But so do hair, mouth, and stomach cells. That's why chemo causes hair loss, mouth sores, and stomach upset. It's tough, but for many cancers, chemo shrinks tumors, slows them, or wipes them out. What if instead of carpet bombing, we sent in a tactical team? That's targeted therapy. Some cancers carry unique badges, proteins on their surface. Scientists design drugs to recognize those badges and shut down only cancer cells. It's like giving police a wanted poster. Arrest the vandals, leave everyone else alone. And there's the revolution, immunotherapy. Normally, cancer wears disguises, tricking the immune system. Immunotherapy gives the body special tools to see through masks. Checkpoint inhibitors remove the cancer's tricks, letting immune cells attack. This therapy takes immune cells out, trains them in a lab, and sends them back stronger, like super police. It doesn't work for every cancer, but when it does, results are life-changing. Not every treatment kills cancer directly. Some help the patient stay strong. Medicines for nausea, treatments to boost blood counts, nutrition and therapy for recovery. Because fighting cancer means saving not just the city, but the citizens living in it. Doctors stress this. The earlier cancer is found, the better. Catching weeds early is easier than clearing an overgrown garden. That's why we have screening tests, mammograms for breast cancer, colonoscopies for colon cancer, pap smears for cervical cancer. These tests can spot trouble before symptoms even appear, sometimes saving lives. Not all cancer can be prevented, but choices matter. Don't smoke. Tobacco causes many cancers. Protect your skin. Sunscreen blocks UV damage. Eat well and stay active. Strengthens the immune system. Get vaccines, like HPV, which prevents infection-related cancers. Prevention stacks the odds in your favor. Cancer isn't a single disease. It's hundreds, depending on which cells go rogue. Lung cancer, breast cancer, blood cancers, brain cancers. Each has its own behavior and treatment. That's why there's no single cure yet, but many battles happening at once. And yet, hope is rising. Scientists are discovering why some cancers resist treatment, how to reprogram cells back to normal, how to use nanotechnology to deliver medicine straight into tumors, even how to edit DNA to fix errors before they cause harm. The city is learning faster, and the weeds are running out of hiding places. Cancer is more than science, it's human. It's the grandmother who survives breast cancer to hold her great-grandkids. It's the teenager who beats leukemia and grows up to become a doctor. It's the caregivers, scientists, and families fighting together. Cancer is tough, but people are tougher. So the next time you hear the word cancer, don't think only of fear. Think of it as a puzzle, one humanity is solving piece by piece. Because inside every body, there's not just sickness, but resilience. Not just loss, but healing. And above all, hope. And that's what makes this fight worth everything.